Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Play UnderRail. This will be part 53 of our Let's Play, I do believe. And in the last episode, we talked to Lennox Pierce and got a mission to find his brother. Is that what it was? Yeah, Patrick Pierce, a mechanic who resided in Southgate Station, was found dead in his room some time ago. The cause of death is unknown, but Lennox, Pat's brother, is not pleased with the response from Southgate Station and wants you to investigate and learn how Pat died. So, first thing we're going to do to solve this, I think, is head to the private quarters and see if we can go into his room. Because, you know, the game wouldn't give us the key to his room for no reason. If I can find out which one is his. This one, I'm guessing. Alright, shelves. Yeah, actually, let's just shut that door. And maybe save it before I go, quotes, stealing stuff. Because that's worth a bit of money. Broken thermostat. This thermostat looks like it's been smashed pretty badly by someone. Okay. There's nothing in there. What's in this room? Mortuary keycard. This keycard can be used to access the morgue in Southgate Station. I think I will take that, actually. And again, still not better. Yeah, I'll stick with my armor. Lockpicking. Can oblige. How's our XP doing? We got miles to go yet. 44 hammerer and some bullets. Alright, let's look at the personal laptop. Please enter the password to proceed. Patrick Pierce. Password is incorrect. Attempt to hack the computer. Okay, so we can't get into the computer because we don't know the password. Because, yeah, what's our hacking? It's like 40, right? 35. Yeah, that probably not enough, I imagine. Now, we do have some skill, a fair bit of skill, really. Is it a fair bit of skill? Yeah, in biology, so maybe we can do something there. I don't know. I don't know. Alright, again, we're gonna just go ahead and save it. Raid some stuff. Iron gut. Fair enough. A doctor's coat. Which I think we already have, right? Yeah, I won't worry about that. We already have a doctor's coat? Yeah, we do. Let's just put it on, yeah, just in case. Maybe we have to, you know, pretend we're a doctor. And we're gonna change weapons. They'll never know. Never know. Okay, so there's a computer console. Welcome to Southgate Station Medical Database. Access patient records. Open recent patient list. Patrick Pierce. Symptoms: chronic back pain. Prescribed painkillers, gabapentin. This time, we are getting low on other painkillers since we don't have anyone suffering from epilepsy. Gabapentin will have to do. Arlene Banks. Insomnia. Forehead laceration. Sharp chest pain. Depression. Broken toe. Okay, so there's nothing else in there that's like particularly suspicious. Access medical inventory. Medications. The medication list is too long for you to review them all. Alright. New medical equipment. We'll be receiving new medical equipment soon. The existing inventory will need to be rechecked and expanded unless we want to risk the same thing from last time happening again. Quinton's dimethylmercury. Quinton received a dose of dimethylmercury. He mentioned he needed it for testing on burrowers. Note, why do we even have a dose of the most powerful neurotoxin in our inventory? So maybe Quinton had something to do with it. Repair the lock pad. Might have to notify someone to check that broken lock pad. I swear it took 10 to 15 tries for it to finally accept my keycard. Surgery room lights. Surgery room lights are flickering. It looks like a horror scene in there. Call someone to fix it. And empty. Standard equipment. Stethoscope, sphygmomanometer, sorry. Tongue depressor. We're missing 2 of those. Kidney dish. There's 1 extra kidney dish. Gas cylinders, vaporizer. Vaporizer? Interesting. Interesting, so they could vaporize the neurotoxin, I guess. Quinton. I mean, I doubt it's Quinton doing it. It's probably someone that used, like, Quinton's signature. Nothing else really interesting in there. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be anything particularly exciting there. We're like a detective. Tissue expander, no. Okay. So let's open this up and have a look. Let's do freezers there. Let's check this one. Nothing. This one. Nothing. Morgue freezer. Oop. The body bag in front of you contains a male corpse. Label on the bag reads Patrick Pierce. It appears that the corpse has been here for some time, but the extremely low temperature of the freezer prevented it from decaying. Examine the corpse. No matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to determine the cause of this man's death. Touch it. If you touch the corpse, nothing interesting happens. Well, that's fair enough. Yeah, nothing else there. Okay, so if we had slightly higher biology, we could maybe find out something. I'll bet you biology has to be pretty high. Okay, let's talk to Pasquale. Let's see what he says. See, look, I am a doctor as well. What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? Here we go again. Look, I've checked the body, did various tests. I don't know what killed him. The problem with people here is that they think that being a doctor means you know everything related to medicine. I'm not a forensic pathologist. We don't have one here, unfortunately. So I can only do my best to check the body and move on to treating the living. So unless you have some specific information about his death, we can't really discuss it any further. Forensic pathologist? Forensic pathologists examine a dead body and determine the cause of death. It's not the most wanted profession in the world today. We, the doctors here in Southgate Station, aren't really specialised in that sort of things, so we do the best we can. What if his death was a well-planned murder? Well, I found no traces of toxins or any other deadly substances in his blood. He doesn't have any wounds, internal or external, on his body, and I checked it twice. A violent death is highly unlikely. Yeah, but what about a non-violent death? So we did have that broken thermostat. So maybe go and talk to... what's his name? This guy. Harold. I knew that too. What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? Ah yes, I knew Pat well. He was a man one can truly rely on. An honest man. I felt really sad when I heard about his death, you know? Seeing his brother in tears when he first came here after he found out. Man, it's been like 2 months and he still comes back here. I just don't get why Pasquale doesn't do the full autopsy and put this thing to rest. But it's his business. Can you tell me what he was like as a person? A hard-working man, fun to hang out with. You'd be hard-pressed to find someone who disliked him. Well, maybe Big Brett, as the two of them had several heated arguments over the way Pat installed some of the hopper pen heaters. Brett can be impulsive at times. He takes his job seriously, and it is a serious job, I agree, but he can take it too far sometimes. Okay, we're also gonna see if we can trade. See if we can sell some crap. But Doesn't look like... You can have shock bullets, I guess. We'll hang on to the iron gut, because we will probably make that at some point. Najed? Wayne? You're a new person? Or have I just never noticed you in there before? What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? His death occurred not too long ago, before you came to Southgate Station, if I'm not mistaken. It's unusual. What do you mean by unusual? Unusual death. Very peaceful. Pasquale never discovered what caused it. He could have been more thorough with his autopsy, but I find it hard to blame him, as one cannot blame a man for prioritizing the living over the dead. Can you tell me what he was like as a person? Patrick? Decent. Good in his field of work. That's all I have to say. Alright, fair enough. Would you like a plasma discharger? How about an electromagnetic discharger? And some other electronic parts that I don't really need. Actually, you can have that. These, guess not. I suppose that's, what, headgear components, so 2? Yep. Smart lens, it's a headgear component. I could sell these, and I probably should, because no one's ever going to buy them. Yeah, it's way too expensive. Wow, really? Just that one? I guess it's worth 6,000. That's pretty good. Okay, what if I buy all of these and have a quick look at your shield emitters? So it's mine, 7.8. Still don't quite know how shields work, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Sell that too. Still can't afford it. Do you have anything that I can take off your hands that I actually want, most importantly? And I think the answer is no. Okay. It's perfectly fine. Let's, oops. Don't try and open that. They'll crack the shits at you. Not attacking 30. Interesting. Let's just, go ahead and have a look. It's not an illegal door to open. Oh, it just leads from there. Does this open? No, okay. Don't know why the lights are red in here. Hang on. I'm gonna pull this just because. Oh, it was the shelves. Oh. Okay, switch the lights off in there. It's obviously some sort of mainframe. Okay, so at the moment I suspect someone down near Quinton. Agronomy. We'll go and talk to Big Brett. Because there's someone in here with Quinton, right? Yeah, well, there's a random botanist, but I guess it's probably not him. It's not botanist number 537. What do you know? Oh, I went to Camp Hathor. Oh, good. And what's happening there? Everything is alright. The camp wasn't damaged in the earthquake, and they'll fix communication lines soon. They also had some burrow issues, but now that it's all sorted, the camp is functioning as usual. Great. Glad to hear everything is alright. It's all set then. You've done your part. And that gave me 100 XP. Probably should have handed that in a bit earlier. What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? Yeah, I remember it alright. He seemed healthy and well, but then one day he didn't leave his room for almost the entire day. When they went to check up on him, they found him dead in his bed. Poor guy. Can you tell me what he was like as a person? I like Pat. He was a good person, even though we had some disagreements. For example, I asked him to install some heaters for my hoppers. He did so, and everything was supposed to be automatic. Fine. I come back, my hoppers are lying on their sides with their tongues out. Felt like I entered a furnace. I don't know how he messed up, but I specifically told him to test it and to be careful, like 100 times. Make sure it freaking worked before you fire it up. My hoppers nearly died because of it. I know it sounds like I'm overreacting, but this is serious work. I'm feeding the station, for crying out loud. Must be going. Okay. So... there was the broken thermostat. So maybe he was testing it? And someone broke his thermostat, and it just heated up the room, and he just died from, like, heat exhaustion. Let's ask Quentin. What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? Patrick. Was it a heart attack? I forgot. I remember all the fuss about it. Was it a heart attack, or... can't remember. It happened 2 months ago. I don't see why it is important anyway. Can you tell me what he was like as a person? He was a friendly guy, approachable. We were different sort of people. He'd hang out more with people like Harold or Wayne than me or Brett, for example. But he was polite, and we chat from time to time. Although just before he died, Brett complained about some heaters he was installing in the hopper pens. Said he did a sloppy job. It's true, the poor hoppers... it was true. The poor hoppers were about to die from overheating. Brett got a bit mad, and I understand him fully. I even talked to Patrick once about the whole situation. Never mind. Yeah, so that didn't really help me at all, as I kind of figured. Okay, the question is, what else can I do? Aside from just go around and ask everyone what they think about the murder. Well, what they think about the Patrick. And I guess while I'm walking around I'll sell some things. Also, I don't need this stupid coat on anymore. Where's my armor? There it is. Let's trade, see if we can dump some stuff. Here you go, have one of those, have one of those, give you some money. You don't have nearly enough. Give me a Molotov. We know that those are pretty good. Incendiary bolts, yeah, I'll take all of those. Acid bolt, Borrower poison, I guess that's like our mainstay sort of poison bolt, so wouldn't be terrible to hang on to those. So I'm just thinking, oh my god, are you gonna take my boots off me? Oh, Jesus. I mean, you are, but you're not, because you can't really afford to. It's so weird to think at the start of the game, like, you know, he was my main go-to connection. I might as well just take all of these crossbow bolts, and then I never have to buy them again. Critical damage was 125, 11 to 24, that's pretty crap. Yeah. 29 to 42, but the critical damage bonus is 100. So that's not an option either. I could pick up some grenades, but I'm not really using them. 10%, 12.5. Yeah, so it's the same as that one. The obvious thing is we don't sell as much. Like that. That will do. Get rid of those boots. I don't use things that much. Oops, I've got to talk to him about the whole Patrick Pierce's death thing. What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? Poor guy died in his sleep, lad. And even though Pasquale never pinpointed the case, I hope it was swift and painless. Most of us grew pretty fond of him, and you'd be hard-pressed to find one who hasn't. Can you tell me what he was like as a person? He was very... what's the proper word here? Focused? Yeah, focused. He'd start working on something, and not be done with it until it's perfect. That's how he did everything. Then Brett comes along, as the only one complaining. Apparently Patrick installed some heaters, and they didn't work as they should, so the big complainer threw a bit of a tantrum. But yeah, Brett. Okay. So everyone keeps, like, pointing to Brett, but... I don't know, maybe I'm, like... seeing Brett as a different character, but I just don't see him, like, if he's gonna murder him, I don't see him being smart enough to do something that, like, specific. That I don't see him getting away with it. Take a seat, youngster. About your friend Blaine. Okay, so that just takes me through that again. That's fine. What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? Patrick? Yeah, I knew Patrick. The kid died in his sleep one day, and Doc, Pasquale, couldn't figure out what signed his death sentence. Patrick's brother threw a tantrum, demanded that Doc perform the autopsy again. So he did. Nothing. Still couldn't figure it out. Now Doc's far too busy saving people's lives to be spending too much time on the dead, you dig? There's so much stuff. Medicine as a science hasn't even scratched yet. So I can see why sometimes you gotta pull the line. Sad, but we can't have all the answers. It wasn't a contagious disease, or some other devil, and that's the most important thing. Can you tell me what he was like as a person? Doc, or... Oh, yeah. The kid was good. I remember him talking about his life, his little brother. Both of them were dealt some really bad cards right from the start of their lives. But the kid was a survivor. He was tough. That's what he was. Shame. See you later, old geezer. I need the password for Patrick's laptop. Let me think. Try sec1456, or was it 1465? It was his old password, if he hadn't changed it, but I doubt it, he'd used that one for years. Thanks for the passwords, I'll go try them out. What do you think caused Patrick's death? Something's wrong, just wrong. A healthy man died in his sleep without a known cause, and they told me there is no point investigating any further. There is no evidence of foul play, or whatever they said. Natural death. That is why you are here. I need the truth. Okay, so we've got the password to his laptop, so let's go and see. Maybe he was going to meet somebody. Or he was going to tell somebody something. And then obviously at some point we're going to go and ask Tanner. 56. Password is correct. Welcome, Patrick. Technical documentation. This folder contains multiple ebooks and manuals on various equipment. Other than that, you find nothing important. Okay, audio logs. Big Brett's pen heating. The big jackass came today and brought me a smashed thermostat. Okay. He was so angry at me, started screaming and calling me incompetent. Oh, an incompetent nincompoop, whatever that is. Since the brute smashed it in anger, I can't tell if he's just stupid and doesn't know how to use it, or the unit itself had a problem. I'll check it out later. Yeah, so that was the smashed thermostat, so... Maybe someone else smashed. No, it said he smashed. Vera's computer. Apparently I'm a computer expert now. Vera called me the other day to see why her computer was freezing. I took a quick look, but couldn't figure out what's wrong with it. Reminded herself to check it out later, after I fix the lock pad in medical. Lennox. Lennox called again. He wants to see me. He's worried about my back hurting again. Damn it, I've had these problems since the Core City riots, and he knows that the pain periodically comes and goes. Remind it to self. Call him and tell him I'm fine. I should have even told him about the pain return. I shouldn't have even told him about the pain returning in the first place. Door in medical. Pasquale asked me to see what's wrong with the door lock pad in medical. He mentioned the card is usually recognized after the 9th or 10th time, which is, of course, unacceptable. He gave me a spare to test it later and figure out why the bloody thing won't work. Reminder, also check out the lights in operating room. One of them is flickering and the patient's getting nervous. Okay, Quentin. Quentin stopped to talk about Big Jackass. He thinks I've got something against him and that I'm messing up the heaters on purpose. Like he knows I'm doing my best, but if I've got something against Jackass, I should talk to Tanner about it, not be a jerk. Also, I'm seriously endangering the whole station by hurting the hoppers. I'm already convicted, I guess. Damn it, I'm great with everyone here, but there's gotta be that someone, or two. Okay, well that doesn't really help me, aside from a Quentin popping up again. So let's go and talk to Tanner. It kind of frustrates me, like, I don't need to solve this now, because I suspect if I go away and come back with better biology, I can probably identify the body, or like identify if there was any cause of death or anything like that, and it's going to be the poison that Quentin ordered. I'm pretty sure of that now. Adrian Tanner. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about Patrick Pierce. He stares at you for a moment before responding. Lennox is back again, I reckon. I just want to help the man out. He's down at the bar right now, not too far off from drowning in alcohol. As do I, but we've done all we could. Patrick died in his sleep. Pasquale examined him after death, and again after that on Lennox's insisting. No visible traces of injury, external or internal. The body is still being kept on ice, even after a month or so, as he refuses to bury him. These things happen. He might have gotten in contact with something toxic, and unfortunately he passed on. I'm afraid Lennox is just looking for someone to blame for his loss so he could relieve his pain in a certain way. Now, I wanted to ask you questions about Patrick. Why don't you just help him? He wants to find out what happened to his brother. Okay, so it just does the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna tell him... I'm gonna tell Lennox that I have reason to believe it's a murder, and just see where that leads. I have reason to believe that your brother was murdered. Lennox's eyes enlarge, revealing fully how bloodshot they actually are. Really? Do you know who did it? Yeah, I am leaning towards Quentin. I don't know yet, but I'll find out. What did Patrick do in Core City? Didn't I tell you that about that already? No, because you're a wreck and you forgot to tell me important things. Why is it so important? It happened a long time ago. You just answer the question and I'll decide if it's important. Okay, no need to get all pissy. Pat and I, we were orphans. Our mother died when we were young, and Dad, we never met him. So we had to take care of ourselves, more precisely, Pat had to take care of us both. After years of doing whatever earns coin, scavenging and the like, you dig, Pat and I came to Core City. It was just after Biocore fell apart. Maybe sometime after. Riots and chaos filled the streets. Praetorian security, newly formed at the time, needed men to help them fight the rioters and all that bunch. The pay was good, so Pat joined. He was young and, you dig, burly, so he became an enforcer. Can you tell me about Praetorian security? They were trying to take control over the city, and they eventually did. They're one of the major factions in Core City now, but they were a marble back then compared to the boulder they are now. Pat and I both stayed in Core City due to his work, and it went well for a while. Unfortunately, he was hurt during one of the riots. A brute with a sledgehammer. He slammed him right in the spine. The bastard got him real bad. So bad he had to leave Praetorian security, as he couldn't do his job anymore. He was also hurt mentally. He saw things, horrible things, rarely talked about it, but I could see it. We left Core City after that. Nothing for us there. I took care of him until his back got better, and then we split. He went around, learned to work with electronics. Yeah, he went around, learned to... it's just a bit of a weird sentence. He didn't want to be a scavenger his whole life, so he roamed before settling here in Southgate Station. He told me he was happy here, that he finally found a place where he can feel safe and at home. Tears begin rolling out of his eyes to refill his glass. Damn it. What about you? What did you do after you split? He wipes his eyes. I had to learn to take care of myself. I went to work in Foundry for a while, as a miner. Since I valued my life somewhat, I left that place. The pay was good, you dig, but that place is a death trap. Then I worked at Junkyard Docks. I did all sorts of things. It would take time to mention them all. Okay. So you work for Praetorian. What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? Looking at his brother over there, I wish I knew more, but I can only tell you what we all know. Pat died in his sleep. Thinking about it, what if Pasquale found out what killed Pat, and it turned out it was agonizingly painful and that he was struggling the whole time? Would you like to learn something like that? I don't know what's better of the two, I really don't. Can you tell me what he's like as a person? She smiles. Pretty sweet, actually. We used to chat a lot whenever he showed up. He talked about his horrible past in Core City, how he survived the riots. He felt he did some bad things back then. How he finally found a way to atone for what he did by leading a more peaceful life. Then Big Brett comes along and starts nagging about those stupid heaters for his hoppers. Got any rumours? Candace Varner recently told me about another poor soul sailing to Silent Isle. I haven't seen him since. She makes a really compelling point. So I have another potential theory now. So what if Pasquale does know what killed him? And what if it was a chemical interaction between what he prescribed for the back pain, because they didn't have the seizure or whatever, right? No one had seizure medication. Recent patient, Patrick Pierce. Prescribed painkillers, gabapentin this time. Getting low on other painkillers, and since we don't have anyone suffering from epilepsy, gabapentin will have to do. So what if the painkiller, what if he was allergic to the painkillers? So Pasquale doesn't want to admit it because he's afraid. He doesn't want to tell anyone. Okay, so I can't get anything from him. Maybe I can sneak. Maybe. Okay, so this stuff I can open. I just can't take anything. Because he's not giving me any trouble. Okay, let's talk to the... Yeah, okay, the doctor. Yeah, so... I'm thinking that maybe that's another option. Like, it wasn't a murder. Like, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't it wasn't natural causes. But... Like, it wasn't natural causes, but it was absolutely not a murder. It was just an accident. I'm gonna open this and see if anyone's got a problem with it. Yeah. Fire technician suit. Bullhead. Could kind of want that, but I guess it's not really a thing. Now, it did make a big deal, though, about his past being important, so maybe that has something to do with it as well. Okay, so who haven't we talked to? We haven't talked to Vera. So let's ask Vera. What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? He died in his sleep. While it's true that Pasquale never discovered the exact cause of death, I believe it's nothing to worry about. Someone suggested a bacteria that live in the ventilation system. That would mean the death of us all, wouldn't it? If you want to learn more, just go talk to Pasquale. I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know. I'm far too busy anyway. Okay, it's the same thing again. What did this computer console do for us? I mean, that one does nothing because it doesn't appear to have power. Let's go back to Patrick's room for a minute. And let's check out maybe the room next to it. Or maybe... Actually, let's check out this locker too. What did I leave in here? I left the taurine in here, like I thought I did. Mostly it's just a lot of crap, so that can stay in there. Personal computer. Are there any emails for me? No. No. 1950. So I don't want to get seen by the camera, preferably, but can I open this before the camera turns back? It doesn't seem that way. Sufficient skill? Up to 45. Damn it. Just short. Are they all like that? They're all 50? Yeah, it looks like they probably are. I'm gonna have to leave this episode here. I'll give it some thought between now and the next episode, and if I can't think of anything else, I might just have to go off and train and level up. Well, like, go and do other quests, come back, and with better biology. Might be the thing to do. So, thank you very much everyone for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more content from me, the OzzieNerd, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you think you know any friends might enjoy my content, make sure you share a video or two. I really appreciate it. And finally, if you want to leave any comments, tips, preferably for this one, don't spoil it. If you have cheeky hints, I would love it, but I don't want to know if my theories are correct or not. I'll sort that out. But other than that, if you want to give me any hints, tips, tricks, feedback, anything like that, make sure you leave it in the comments section down below. And I'll see all of you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.